Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Judgment Day vs. LWO War Games. Brand vs. brand, Raw vs. SmackDown, the whole shebang at WrestleMania. I wasn't originally going to do this since I was halfway into writing the script of Rey Mysterio vs. Dominic Mysterio and Damian Priest and Balor vs. Carlito and Santos Escobar, but midway through I figured out that we have general managers now, which means that they can legit utilize brand versus brand tactics, and I think a good place to do it, if they're not going to do it at Survivor Series, just do it at WrestleMania. So now the War Games match will be Finn Balor, Damian Priest, JD McDonald's, and Dominic Mysterio versus Santos Escobar, Cruz del Toro, Joaquin Wild, and Carlito. And yes, I am still doing Dominic vs. Rey, hair vs. mask on night 1. And then the War Games match will be on night 2, so it'll be really cool. And yeah, Dominic is working double duty, so yeah. But the most important thing about the Rey vs. Dom match is that this will be Rey Mysterio's last match in WWE, because honestly I think it is the perfect time for Rey to retire. Honestly I do think this is a perfect time because you're facing your son. It's a perfect time to just retire for a perfect opponent. Like it can't get more perfect than that. Alright, so as of recording, Cody Rhodes is set to face Damian Priest at Crown Jewel, and maybe we'll get Judgment Day versus a team full of baby faces at Survivor Series. So let's start after Survivor Series. JD McDonald's is officially in the Judgment Day. He gets accepted by Damian Priest. He gets accepted by Rhea Ripley. Gets accepted by Dominic Mysterio, and honestly, Finn Balor. So this time, the Judgment Day is the strongest they've ever been, and they've run all of WWE. They do all their antics all the way up until the Royal Rumble, and that's when this feud actually begins. So as of recording, Rey Mysterio is still the US Champion as of Crown Jewel, and that's the problem. So at Crown Jewel, I'd actually have Logan win and take the title from him. And also, Dominic is still the North American Champion, so I think Dominic Mysterio should lose his North American Championship somewhere around early January, right before the Royal Rumble. Now at the Royal Rumble, Dominic Mysterio comes out at number 18, just like he did last year. If you guys remember last year, Rey Mysterio was supposed to come out at number 17, but he didn't. It was because Dominic Mysterio attacked Rey Mysterio backstage, and he ripped his mask right off of Rey Mysterio. And now at number 19, Rey Mysterio comes out. He has a stare down with his son, and Dom sees the perfect opportunity to start bashing his father for beating him at WrestleMania of last year. But Rey is not taking any bullshit whatsoever, so he throws Dominic straight out the ring and he eliminates him. Now this made Dominic really furious with Rey, so after the Royal Rumble on Monday Night Raw, Dominic goes to Adam Pearce and he lets him know that he wants to go to SmackDown later on in the week. Now Adam Pearce warns Dominic that if he goes there, he's gonna get escorted out by Nick Aldis. But Adam Pearce also tells Dominic that SmackDown isn't my responsibility. However, according to the ratings, SmackDown has been beating us. So you know what? Both of us, you and me, will head on over to SmackDown to pay Nick Aldis a little visit. And now Dominic is satisfied with his answer that Pearce gave. And now fast forwarding all the way to Friday Night SmackDown, Adam Pearce and Dominic both arrived together on SmackDown. They managed to get in the backstage area. Adam Pearce runs into Nick Aldis, and Nick is mad. He's like, "Why you here?" But Adam Pearce says that, "Look, I wanted to talk. I realized for the past few weeks SmackDown has been doing way better than Raw, and I can't stand that. It means that I'm not doing my job. I just want to let you know that it's Mania season, and whatever tricks you got up your sleeve ain't gonna work with me." Aldis then says that, "You're really accusing me for doing my job. Just because you don't know how to book your show doesn't mean you get to come down here and tell me to back off. I'm the #1 general manager of the #1 flagship show in all of professional wrestling. If you want to start shit, then let the war begin. Now I got a show to run, so get the hell off my property." Now Nick Aldis leaves, and then Adam Pearce is still at the arena. But now the beef between Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis is getting real. So later that night, the entire LWO is out in the ring cutting a promo. Rey Mysterio starts out by saying that, "I don't got a lot of years left, but you know what I do have?" Dummy Boy has came out to confront Rey Mysterio. He interrupts him. He tries to come down to the ring and confront Rey Mysterio. He locks eyes with him, and then he grabs the microphone, and then Dominic says, "See, it's almost been a year since I got my ass beat by the deadbeat. Ever since then, I haven't got my hands on you. And see, at the Royal Rumble, I tried to win. I tried to main event WrestleMania, but someone looking like you had to ruin my opportunity. See, getting eliminated by you sparked something that hasn't been lit in a very, very long time. Last year, I should have gotten the job done. Now, I can't relight the past, but I can damn well create the future. So, Mysterio, I came here to challenge you to a rematch at WrestleMania. And not just any match. I want to embarrass you. I want to end your career. I want to rip that mask off your bald little head and see if I win at WrestleMania, I get to rip that mask off your head." Dominic reaches his hand out to Rey, and now Dominic wants Rey to accept this match. But Rey Mysterio speaks and he says that, "Now I know damn well you don't want to challenge someone like Rey Mysterio to a match when I know and you know that I could beat you. I already did fair in the middle of the ring at WrestleMania, and you know if I did it once, I can damn well do it over and over again." But see, that's not the problem. The problem is all the disrespect you have towards me. That makes me sick. Sir, if you come out here telling me that you want to rip my mask open, it really shows me that you don't give any remorse to Lucha Libre. I've worn this thing throughout the entirety of my career. And then Dom cuts Ray off and says, "I don't give a damn about your stupid little mask. It means absolutely nothing to me. So either you accept my match or else next week I get the entirety of Judgment Day on your ass. Just be lucky that mommy isn't here." Now Ray doesn't want all that to happen because he knows what Judgment Day do. So see, this is when Rey Mysterio makes Dominic an offer. He says, "Alright Dom, alright, I see you're threatening me. So you know what? Me putting something on the line isn't really fair. So let me tell you this. When I win at WrestleMania, I get to shave off all your hair. And if I lose somehow, you get to take the mask off." And now Dominic accepts right away. He tells Mysterio, "Yeah, whatever it takes for me to embarrass your ass and to remove that mask, unveiling how much of a deadbeat father you truly are, you've got yourself a deal." And now everyone is surprised because the match has been made official. Dominic Mysterio versus Rey Mysterio, hair versus mask. And now Dominic tries to blindside Rey Mysterio. He tries to go for an attack, but the entirety of LWO are in the ring. So they all start beating down Dominic Mysterio and they send him packing. And now while Dominic is trying to go backstage, he runs into Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis just found out that Dominic is on his show and he tells Dom, "What in the hell are you doing on my show?" Oh, and he says that, "Oh, Adam said it's okay." So now Aldis is pissed off because, you know, now he tries to find Adam Pearce. Now later on in the night, we see Nick Aldis call Adam Pearce and says, "We need to talk," with a grudge-filled look on his face. So the next Raw, we get the entire Judgment Day in the ring. They are congratulating Dominic for getting the opportunity to beat up his dad once again at WrestleMania. Now Balor says that, "Look, we've still got some time up until WrestleMania. So I want to call out any one of you from LWO. It don't matter whoever it is, as long as I get a fight at the Elimination Chamber." But then Nick Aldis is on Raw for some reason. He cuts off Finn Balor and he makes his way to the ring. He says that no Raw superstar is wrestling a SmackDown superstar. But then Aldis gets cut off by Pierce, and now he and Nick Aldis are looking at each other. Pierce and Aldis have a little argument by the entrance ramp while the Judgment Day are in the ring. Pierce states that Aldis should be nowhere near Monday Night Raw, and he's trying to figure out how he got here. But then Aldis responds by saying, "Where do you think you and Dominic were last Friday, terrorizing my show, showing up on my show, showing up on Friday Night SmackDown?" Now, I don't know if you got my call or not, but this can't be happening. See, since you pulled the trigger first by invading my show, I assume you're pissed off about something, huh? Is it the ratings? Is it because I'm better than you and you know it? See, I know you're mad. Yeah, I know you can't be mad that I'm getting a lot more viewers on the #1 flagship show, Friday Night SmackDown. Now with that being said, I don't ever want to see any of the Judgment Day or any Raw superstar on my show ever again, you understand me? And then Aldis storms off backstage and he heads on home. Now after hearing all that from Aldis, Adam Pearce seems to be more frustrated than ever towards Nick Aldis. He then goes backstage, and then meanwhile, Judgment Day are still in the ring. Now after hearing everything that Nick Aldis had said, they seem to have something in mind, and then they don't really say much, they just leave the ring now. So later on Raw, we see a backstage segment with the entirety of Judgment Day discussing something with Adam Pearce. What could this be? What could they be discussing? Anywho, later in the week on SmackDown, Judgment Day beat up Rey Mysterio on SmackDown. Yeah, Adam Pearce and Judgment Day were talking about invading SmackDown. That's what they were discussing. So when LWO came in for the save, Judgment Day were long gone from the scene. Carlito then tries to help Rey Mysterio get up, and he has a furious look on his face. Carlito storms out to the ring with the microphone and he calls out the Judgment Day. He screams, "Judgment Day, I know you're back there somewhere. I've heard what Balor had to say on Raw. So if you're looking for a challenge, I'll go one-on-one with you at the Elimination Chamber." Now at this point, Judgment Day make their way to the ring and they get stopped by security. Nick Aldis and his goons come out to stop Judgment Day from being in the ring on SmackDown. Now Adam Pearce also comes out on the behalf of Judgment Day. Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis now go back and forth. Nick Aldis says, "Last week you brought one of them, and I decided to trash my entire show." Now Adam Pearce responds by saying, "Look, things have gotten personal, and it's about damn time I do something about it. So if you can manage to calm yourself down, I've got a proposal for you. Judgment Day can come to SmackDown, and LWO can come to Raw up until WrestleMania." Nick Aldis says that's the most stupidest thing I've ever... Wait a minute. You know what? LWO will be on Raw next week. And then Nick Aldis goes backstage. So Nick Aldis accepts Adam Pearce's little proposal. So now LWO and Judgment Day can jump from brand to brand whenever they want, up until WrestleMania. Now after Nick Aldis goes backstage, Adam Pearce orders the Judgment Day to attack Carlito. And then later on in the night, Adam Pearce also commands Judgment Day to attack all of LWO. If you see them lurking around backstage, you attack them. So basically, Adam Pearce is in his villain arc right now. He's demanding mayhem. So when Judgment Day and LWO are getting into a brawl, Rey Mysterio is still down at this time. He's not helping, he's hurt. But the brawl ends with Judgment Day and Adam Pearce standing tall. The entire LWO is laid down and they are hurt. And the games have begun. All the chaos leading up to WrestleMania has begun. Nick Aldis is pissed off backstage, but he has a plan. He said the LWO will be on Monday Night Raw the next week. And that's exactly what happens. The next Monday Night Raw, Nick Aldis kicks off the show inside the ring. Adam Pearce then confronts him and have a one-to-one promo. Now Adam Pearce says to Nick Aldis that, "Okay, so this is what you want to do now. You want to start off my show screaming blue? Oh, hell no. See, just to let you know, I've been enjoying all of this. The top faction of Monday Night Raw, the Judgment Day, dominating your LWO on SmackDown and Raw. It just brings joy to my life." And man, I think I saw LWO lurking backstage trying to hurt my innocent Raw superstars. Now Aldis replies by saying, "Oh, what do you mean innocent? Judgment Day is a disgrace to Raw. Hell, disgrace to the entirety of professional wrestling. If you want to do this every week, then LWO will glad to make Monday Night Raw a living hell." Nick Aldis then leaves. The feud between Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis has been getting more personal and more personal. Now, ladies and gentlemen, brand warfare is back. Later on that week on SmackDown, we get a match announced. JD McDonald's vs. Cruz del Toro. The first of many LWO vs. Judgment Day matches. So LWO and Judgment Day are both in the corner of JD McDonald's and Cruz del Toro. It's an average match, both men showing why they need to be given more opportunities. Because Cruz del Toro is a phenomenal wrestler and so is JD. I mean, both of them were wild in NXT. They both put on a clinic, but I want this match to be clean. So JD actually manages to get the win. The rest of Judgment Day celebrate in the ring, and then LWO gets in the ring. All have a stare down, but they don't brawl. They all just stare at each other, they look at each other menacingly, and then LWO leaves the ring. They need to get back on track because they've been getting beat down They've been losing matches. They're letting the Raw superstars invade SmackDown, and they're letting them win matches. That's just not good. That's not good for Nick Aldis. That's not good for LWO. That's not good for SmackDown. So the next week on Raw, LWO are backstage. Rey Mysterio finds Adam Pearce and he asks him for a match. Santos Escobar versus Damian Priest. So now Damian Priest accepts and the match is made official. Later on the night, Damian Priest versus Santos Escobar will happen. So before the main event of Damian Priest and Santos Escobar, Judgment Day and LWO don't encounter all night. So it's time for the main event. Damian Priest comes out alone. I also forgot to tell you guys that Damian Priest is still Mr. Money in the Bank, but it's not too important right now. Maybe later, who knows. Wait, Santos is out in the ring. So Santos is in the ring. He has Cruz del Toro and Hulkling Wild in his corner. So yeah, he has some backup. The match starts as normal with no shenanigans, but Damian Priest dominates for most of this match. But Santos Escobar knows that he can't stay down. He has to put on a John Cena-like performance. He can't give up. He keeps kicking out of all the punishment. Santos Escobar catches Priest off guard and he lands a vicious Hurricane Rana. Santos looks at the crowd knowing what he's about to do next. Santos goes for a 619. Goes to the top. He lands a picture perfect frog splash. 1, 2, no. At this point, Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio are worried and they come out there to help Damian Priest. Hulkling Wild and Cruz del Toro take care of both Balor and Dominic. While those four are brawling outside the ring, Damian Priest gets distracted and Santos Escobar takes care of the opportunity to pin Damian Priest off the distraction. Santos Escobar takes home the W for LWO. As soon as the match ends, Damian Priest is just pissed off. He manages to land a South of Heaven after the match against Santos Escobar. Now Rey Mysterio comes in for the save. He lands a perfect Hurricane Rana on Damian Priest and he lands a successful. Priest is lying down on the floor on the ropes. Dominic gets in the ring to confront Rey Mysterio. Dominic tells Rey to back off and he tells, don't you forget, WrestleMania, the match is made official. Hair versus mask, there's no running from that. There's no escape. LWO can't help you at WrestleMania. I have the Judgment Day by my side. The greatest faction of all time. There's no denying that. And now Dominic blindsides Rey Mysterio. He knocks him down with a punch. And Balor and Damian Priest get back up. They get in the ring. Balor picks up the microphone and turns towards the entrance ramp. And he says, and I know there's still one more of you back there. So now bring your ass in this ring or we come down there and we get you. But here comes a pissed off Carlito coming down to the ring with a steel chair. He runs in and starts bashing away the entire Judgment Day. Carlito has to fight against a 3-on-1 attack. Carlito uses the chair to his advantage and he lays out all three members of the Judgment Day flat on the canvas. Picks up the microphone, he says to Finn Balor, Elimination Chamber, be ready for your judgment. Carlito then drops the mic and he tries to get the fallen members of LWO back up on their feet. And that's how Raw goes off the air. I get it, it's overbooked as shit, but whatever. Later on that week on SmackDown, after the brutal brawls and everything that happened on Raw, LWO and Judgment Day are nowhere to be seen, and that was the go home show of the Elimination Chamber. So at the Elimination Chamber, Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis meet once again backstage. Adam Pearce says, well, is this what you wanted? Raw is doing better than ever when it comes to ratings. More than SmackDown, actually. Yeah, I was thinking, since Judgment Day and LWO have some things going on personally, and that WrestleMania is approaching, I have a proposal for you. See, at WrestleMania, I want brand versus brand. Raw versus SmackDown. Adam Pearce's Judgment Day versus your LWO. Finn Balor, Damian Priest, Dominic Mysterio, and JD McDonough versus Carlito, Santos Escobar, Hulkling Wild, and Cruz del Toro in a 8-man tag team match at WrestleMania. Nick Aldis then responds by saying, it's not a bad idea, but it's not a good idea. I'll give you my decision next week. So it's now time for Finn Balor vs Carlito at the Elimination Chamber. Both men walk out solo. There's no one else to be seen. It's a one-on-one match. The bell rings and then Carlito starts off with an aggressive pace. He trash talks Balor a lot in this match. Finn Balor looks to be in trouble, but Carlito just keeps dominating him. And there's only one thing that Finn Balor can do. Cheat. Finn Balor gets the chair from underneath the ring, but Carlito snatches it out his hands. Carlito almost used a chair on himself though. His anger has gotten worse and worse and it can't be controlled. Finn Balor lures Carlito back into the ring and then he gets him down. Carlito is down, he's hurt. This is a perfect time to hit a coup de grace. Balor goes on top, gets Carlito in position, but nobody home. Carlito moves out the way. Carlito then takes Balor up to the top rope to do a superplex. And now Finn Balor seems unwillingly to take it. Now he does everything in his power to reverse. So he gets Carlito down to the mat and he lands a coup de grace. He goes for the cover. 1, 2, no. Kick out. Finn Balor is shocked. He doesn't know what to do next. So he goes for a 1916. 1, 2, no. What is happening? Carlito is superhuman. Carlito spits in the face of Balor and lands a devastating backstabber to Finn Balor. He looks at the fallen Finn Balor and he tells him, this is what the LWO do. Win fair. Another backstabber to Balor, and then he gets the 1, 2, 3. Carlito gets the clean, spotless victory against Finn Balor. Carlito then celebrates while Finn Balor is staring down a hole through Carlito. You can tell that something's about to happen on Monday Night Raw. The Raw after the Elimination Chamber, LWO is there and the entire group is in the ring. Carlito tries to speak, but then the Judgment Day's theme hits and they come. Here comes Balor, Mysterio, Priest, and McDonough, all four of them pissed off. They get inside the ring, they stare down LWO. Balor grabs the microphone and he says, you know you cheated at the Elimination Chamber, you know that, right? And I wasn't 100% because you decided to smash me with a steel chair a week before our match. Just to let you know that this ain't over until the Judgment Day go home standing tall. But just like Adam Pearce, I want the 8-man tag to be official. So I told my main man AP Adam Pearce to get the 8-man tag match official for WrestleMania. And you know, I still haven't heard back from him, but we'll have you know, there is no running. Especially after Dominic rips open Ray's mask on night 1 at WrestleMania. He and the rest of Judgment Day will be ready to take all of you on in a 8-man tag team match on night 2. And now Nick Aldis comes out and he says that, oh no, I never agreed to the 8-man tag. See, I have something else in mind. It's still brand versus brand. It's still Raw versus SmackDown. It's still LWO versus Judgment Day. Carlito, Escobar, Wilde, Del Toro versus Balor, Priest, Mysterio, and McDonough inside War Games. It is announced. With a few weeks away from WrestleMania, War Games, it's finally announced, brother. It's announced. War Games, bruh. Alright, so later in the week on SmackDown, Rey Mysterio is in the ring by himself. He doesn't have LWO because he doesn't want them there at the time. He says, see, the past few weeks have been pretty brutal. With everything going on, I feel that I'm sort of safe here from all the mayhem. But right now, I would like to talk about Dom. The boos start pouring down, but Rey Mysterio says, see Dom, don't you think that I forgot, because you're still getting your ass whooped at WrestleMania. But, you know, after hearing the announcement on Monday, I can see that you're pulling double duty at WrestleMania now. Now that's something I can respect. But something I can't respect is you terrorizing my LWO week in and week out with the Judgment Day. You and the Judgment Day have gone way too far. The line has been crossed. The fine line between I want to fight you and I need to fight you has sure as hell been crossed. So get this straight. At WrestleMania, after I beat you again, I'm gonna shave off all your hair. Now this triggers Dominic Mysterio to confront Rey. Dominic comes down to the ring saying, oh no. See, if I knew that I wasn't able to beat you, I wouldn't have asked you for this match. I am 1000% beating you and ripping open that mask at WrestleMania. And I don't have to keep repeating it, I only have to tell you one. Because come WrestleMania, I'm gonna rip that little mask off your stupid little deadbeat head. But the thing is, you seem real confident about this match. And then Rey Mysterio responds by saying, you're damn right. Because if I'm not confident, I lose everything. So you know, Dom, get ready to consider yourself a proposal. Because if I lose at WrestleMania, if and only somehow I end up losing, I will retire. Because that's how much I care about losing my mask. Clearly it doesn't mean anything to you, so what do you say? Now Dom is happy, he accepts the offer. So now after this promo we find out that if Rey Mysterio loses this match, it will be the final match of his career. The next week on Monday Night Raw we get a backstage promo from the Judgment Day, and Balor states that War Games, huh? Are you trying to get yourself killed? Trapped in a giant cage with unlimited weapons, no rules, nowhere to escape, trapped inside with all of us. See, Nick Aldis, the only outcome of making this match official is that you're gonna have every single member of LWO injured and on the shelf after War Games. Because the Judgment Day, we don't hold back. And that's all he said. Later in the night, we see a backstage response from LWO. Santos Escobar says that we've got your message. And see, inside War Games, there's nothing stopping us from ending all of it. See, it was actually our idea to ask for Nick Aldis for the War Games match. And now after War Games, there's not going to be a Judgment Day. Now as we arrive your judgment, on SmackDown there's a War Games Advantage match. So we're sending in Cruz del Toro and Hawkwind Wild to face any two of you for the advantage. And that's how the promo ends. Later on that week on SmackDown, the match is set. Hawkwind Wild and Cruz del Toro versus which other two members of the Judgment Day? Well, it is Finn Balor and JD McDonald. The match starts and it starts as normal. The entire point of this match is to see who gets the advantage inside of War Games. And now Cruz del Toro and Hawkwind Wild really get their moment to shine, showing off how good their moveset really is. And now while Balor is down, Cruz del Toro and Hawkwind Wild double team JD McDonough, which lead them to get the advantage at War Games. They pin JD McDonald's and then they get the advantage. So now later in that night, Nick Aldis and Pierce meet once again. Nick Aldis gets in the face of Adam Pierce saying that, you see that? LWO just got the advantage, while your little Judgment Day are now down in the deeps. Now Adam Pierce gets mad and he replies by saying, look, War Games advantage match is a waste of time. It doesn't mean shit. What you should be worried about is winning when it matters and not when it doesn't. So why don't you ride along? I'm pretty sure you gotta show the book. So the next Monday Night Raw, it is the last Raw before WrestleMania. The entire Judgment Day is in the ring, more united than ever. All 5 of them, including Rhea Ripley, which we haven't seen in this storyline, mostly because she's feuding with other people on her own. And now Balor starts off the promo by saying, we run Monday Night Raw, whether you like it or not. We've been running the red brand for years now, and we've got Rhea tormenting Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan every week. We have my main man JD. We've got Senior Money in the Bank, and ho ho ho. And don't you think this briefcase is a toy? Because at WrestleMania, it don't matter if it's Seth, it don't matter if it's Gunther, it don't matter if it's Roman, it don't matter if it's Cody. Damian Priest got his eyes set on that title. And how can I forget my main man, Dami Boy? The man that's gonna tear apart Rey Mysterio and destroy every bit of legacy he has in the hair versus mask match at WrestleMania as LWO waits to be beaten inside War Games. They're going to have to see if they can make it there. I've seen at least one of you lurking around backstage on our show. So if there's one of you here, I damn well know that there's a lot of you here. So you know what? Let's go find them. And now Balor has fully gone insane. This man was yelling the entire time he was speaking. He's gone delusional, he's gone insane. He wants Judgment. So he gets Judgment Day out the ring, and he goes on to find LWO backstage to launch a backstage attack on them. Later in the night, we see a segment where Rey Mysterio is chilling alone backstage, but he gets jumped by Judgment Day again. As Judgment Day beat down Rey Mysterio, the rest of LWO come to the aid of Rey Mysterio, and now Judgment Day and LWO are getting in a massive brawl, leading both Adam Pierce and Nick Aldis to be summoned. As both of them are trying to break up the madness, Aldis screams, "Is this what you wanted, huh?" And now Adam Pierce says, "Oh hell yeah, this is exactly what you're gonna see at War Games." Now Nick Aldis is completely pissed because the LWO is getting their asses beat. At this point, Judgment Day has laid all of LWO on the floor, and all of Judgment Day leave the scene. And now Adam Pierce looks at Nick Aldis trying to help LWO get back onto their feet, and then he smiles. and then leaves. Adam Pearce is a fucking heel, bro. What the hell? It's the go-home show for WrestleMania Friday Night SmackDown, and after a brutal beating from the Judgment Day a few days ago, LWO are in the ring. They are back, ready to fight at War Games on night 2 of WrestleMania. Rey Mysterio starts yelling, LWO always comes back. Doesn't matter if they get brutally beat on Monday or inside the War Games, you can do whatever you want inside that cage. Carlito takes over now. See, you can get any weapons you want. Anything and everything is legal inside those cages. And LWO ain't afraid to use that to our advantage. Inside the War Games, the LWO will make the GM of SmackDown Nick Aldis proud by putting an end to the Judgment Day. Ray takes over again and he grabs the mic from Carlito and says, "Oh, and Dominic, if there's a single little tiny part of you that even thinks that at WrestleMania you're gonna beat Rey Mysterio and take my mask off and retire me, you've got something real wrong inside your head. And trust me, your head's been messed up since you decided to rather get your head stuck between Rhea Ripley's thighs than loving your own father. So believe me when I say this, WrestleMania, when I pin you clean for the second time in a row, I hope and I pray that you learn something for once. Just one thing from all of this. Or else, at WrestleMania, it's not going to be father versus son. It's going to be Dominic versus Rey Mysterio. Rey smashes the mic on the floor. At this point, the Judgment Day show up on SmackDown and they just stand there menacingly on the entrance ramp. Adam Pearce runs to the entrance ramp and goes in front of them. He tells Judgment Day not to attack this time. And now, at that time, Nick Aldis also comes out to the ring and he goes inside the ring where LWO is standing and he stands right in front of LWO. Both Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce agreed that they don't want any sort of brawls or of any type on the last show before WrestleMania. They want to keep it peaceful. Now the segment ends with all the men staring at each other knowing that their lives on the line inside of that cage. But before we get to War Game, on night 1, we have Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio in a hair versus mask match. Rey Mysterio comes out with his normal entrance. He tries his best to really interact with the crowd, knowing that this might be his last match he'll ever wrestle in. And then Dom comes out. This man comes out with no music, no Tritantron, and it is all you hear is just boos raining inside of Lincoln Financial Field in Philly. Something I forgot to mention is that this match is also a no DQ match, so anything kind of goes. But it wasn't really too important in the storyline, so I really didn't mention it. Now Dominic and Rey are standing face to face, ready to tear each other apart. Same as last year, but this time there's a lot more on the line. If Dom loses, his hair is gone. If Rey loses, his legacy is gone. The bell rings. Both men go at it. It doesn't take too long for both of them to go outside the ring. Dominic tries to grab a kendo stick and beat Rey Mysterio with it. He says, "It's all over. This is it. You've had all your fun and games. After this match, there's no more." Dominic keeps trash talking Rey Mysterio, but now Rey can't let this happen. He gotta fight back. He can't keep getting his ass. So Rey gets Dominic back inside the ring and he starts beating his ass with his belt. Rey goes for the pin, but that doesn't work. He goes for a frog splash and somehow manages to land it. He goes for the pin again, but that doesn't put Dom away. Dom screams to Rey, "I'm more than just your son. I'm the man that's going to retire you." And he starts pounding away, blow after blow after blow. Dominic is being real aggressive in this match, even after getting beat with the bell, and even after taking a frog splash right to the ribs. Dominic takes Rey to the top turnbuckle. He does a Hurricane Rana, and now as Rey gets up for the attack, and now as Rey gets up from the Hurricane Rana, Dominic dials a 619, but Rey reverses it. Rey Mysterio now gets Dominic in the 619 position, and he successfully lands it. He goes for another frog splash because he knows that it wasn't enough. Rey thought that this would be a lot more easier, but Dominic is just not staying down. His pride and ego outgrew him for the better. It's kick out after kick out after kick out. Almost 20 minutes in the match, Dominic is tired. He goes up to the top for a frog splash, and he manages to land it. He goes for the pin, but no, Rey kicks out. Then he dials up a 619, and it works. Rey Mysterio's face is now hopeless as he's down on the floor, begging for mercy. Dominic grabs Rey by the head. He picks him up and says, you're nothing but a deadbeat son of a bitch. And then he knocks Ray out. He takes the opportunity to land a final frog splash on Ray. And now Dominic goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3. This motherfucker has somehow managed to pin Rey Mysterio. As soon as the bell rings, he straight away rips off Rey's mask. The entire crowd is genuinely shocked at the ending. People are loud as fuck. This man is getting go home heat. The FU chants are raining like water. This man looks at Rey Mysterio's mask, takes one good look at Rey while he's down on the floor, and he leaves the ring. And now as he's walking out the ring, he carries the torn mask of Rey Mysterio down with him. And that's how it ends. Absolutely mental. Rey Mysterio is officially retired from wrestling now, and that was his last match and final send-off. Later in the night, in a backstage segment at WrestleMania, we see Dominic showing off the rest of the Judgment Day, the mask of Rey Mysterio. They all congratulate Dominic and they prepare him for War Games for night 2. It's night 2 of WrestleMania and it is time for War Games. Before the match begins, Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce join Michael Cole and Wade Barrett as special guest commentators. Dominic Mysterio and Hawkwind Wild are the first ones to start the match. The match starts off slow, but the crowd, they're hating Dominic because of what he did last night. Every bit of reaction this man gets is absolutely negative, which makes sense. He takes care of Hawkwind Wild, but then Cruz del Toro comes in. Both members of the LWO team up on Dominic and get him down. At this point, Damian Priest is coming in and he gets a bunch of weapons. He gets as much as he can, and then he gets in the ring, and as soon as he gets in the ring, he sets up a table. He puts Cruz del Toro through the table, and now Santos Escobar is coming in for the save. The next one in is Santos Escobar, and then he and Cruz del Toro team up on Damian Priest. They both put him down, and then Finn Balor comes in and he gets a few weapons. He starts bashing Cruz del Toro with the kendo stick. Finn Balor moves over to the other ring, and then he has something in mind, something diabolical in mind. He sets up a table. He puts Hawkwind Wild on the table and then proceeds to slowly climb to the top of the cage. And then he looks at the table and then he lands a coup de grace over 10 feet in the air right onto Hawkwind Wild. The table goes splat. And now he doesn't go for the pin because War Games hasn't started. So then Carlito comes in. He doesn't really do anything that eventful. And then JD McDonough is the last one to come in. War Games has officially begun. All 8 men are in the ring, brutally beating the living shit out of each other. And it's legit a pure spot fest. Like, it's just pure chaos. It's been over 30 minutes since the first 2 men have entered. And it's very late into the match. And now almost everyone is laying down in the match. But there's still fights going on. But Balor sees Carlito lying down on the floor, and he takes advantage of that opportunity. He wants to get revenge from what Carlito did to him at the Elimination Chamber. So Finn Balor lands a coup de grace to Carlito, but then he does it one more time. He does another one, another coup de grace to Carlito, and then Finn Balor goes for the pin, and Balor gets the job done. He pins Carlito after failing to do so at the Elimination Chamber. The Judgment Day has won War Games. The LWO lost and the Judgment Day are victorious. Team Raw won War Games. Adam Pearce is proud of Judgment Day while Nick Aldis is pissed off at LWO for losing. Judgment Day and Adam Pearce now celebrate their victory in the ring, and that's how the Judgment Day versus the LWO saga ends. I really do congratulate you if you're still watching because this was a long video. This is like legit definition of fantasy booking. So please leave a like, subscribe, please press all the buttons. The next video will be Io Sky versus Bailey. That video I'll probably have like a lazier approach to it. I'm tired. So yeah, peace out.